Okay, I would say let's try it. That's the moment I've been waiting for. We have the sound, that's good, but something is missing, or to be exact, something is present. Well, there's some hum. And I'm curious what is going to happen if I just take a cable that goes to my amps, okay, that's already better, and plug it into my guitar. Okay, that's much better. So the ground is missing, and I know how to fix that. I'll do it in the next step. When I assembled everything, I didn't connect one thing, and that is the acoustiphonic preamp. I will not be sticking it with a Hexpander because I don't want it to be connected all the time. In the default configuration described in the manual, these two boards are connected to one another as a sandwich, and at the same time, the sound of your original magnetic pickups always goes through the preamp. That kind of turns it into an active circuit, and that is exactly what I don't want. The switch on the front of my guitar turns the piezo and the preamp on, and when it's off, this board is bypassed, and that keeps my pickups true and passive. But now that all my piezo pickups are connected to the Hexpander, I somehow need to send the signal back to the acoustic preamp. Looking at the preamp diagram, we see that piezo pickups are connected to this pin input, which is the third from the top. The Hexpander board has a second row of connectors, which is used to connect it directly to the acoustic preamp board. And it also has the output P, or pin, the third from the top, and all I need to do is to take the signal out of here and connect it into this pin input on the preamp. And at the same time, that will connect the Hexpander to the common ground of my guitar. We'll see if that solves the hum issue. The cable that came with the preamp is too short and will not reach from the Hexpander to where the preamp is going to be located, so I will need to make it longer. And here's the part I kind of hate, which is squeezing any cables into those thin, long channels between cavities. That's a nightmare. At some point, I've started using a piece of a 3D printer filament, which is flexible but still solid enough to be able to push the wires through. And that didn't work. Well, the thing is, Hexpander is usually powered through the GK cable by the unit your guitar is connected to, and without that cable, there's no power and it doesn't let the piezo pickup sound through. So other than the output, I also had to connect the power, this red wire right here. And looking at the circuit boards, I've connected this power output of the acoustic preamp to the corresponding input of the Hexpander labeled with P. And finally, I wired the extra switch, which is right next to the output board. It will be used to connect the normal output of the guitar, which means magnetic pickups and everything that comes with them, to the Hexpander. So when it's off, it is not connected, but when it's on, the sound of the guitar goes to the Hexpander and to the unit it is connected to, a guitar synth for example. The GK3 pickup by Roland that comes with the guitar synth has similar functionality with its three-way switch. Only guitar, only synth, or both at the same time. Here I'm using a two-way switch for either synth only or both guitar and synth at once. The switch is connected to the Hexpander board with this blue wire. Looking at the diagram, regular pickups should normally be connected to this mag input, which stands for magnetic pickups, of the acoustic preamp. But because I'm connecting it to the Hexpander instead, it goes to the corresponding M input. Yes, my standard pickups can finally communicate with the Roland synth, and when I don't need them, I can easily turn them off, like so, and only keep the synth and modeling sounds. Let me just go through my favorite presets real quick and show you what they sound like. And here are the presets I created for the upcoming show. Welcome to the set! Here's what the stage and our bandstand looked like. The funny thing is, out of all this gear, except guitars, the only thing I used on stage before was the TC Electronic Quintessence pedal. Everything else I was using for the very first time. And here is probably the only part of the show that I can include in this video without triggering any copyright claim. You can hear me using the Hexpander and the GRS55 phone sample. Oh, and this part must be copyright-free as well. The show was great, I enjoyed it a lot, and I was really happy about my overall sound on stage, and I'm very glad I decided to upgrade my guitar and significantly improve my acoustic guitar sound using Roland GR55's modeling capabilities. I'll definitely be using this setup on stage in the future for some other shows. If I had to compare Roland's stock pickup with the solution by Graph Tech, I kinda have a feeling that this one is slightly more stable and provides slightly more control. Maybe that is because ghost saddles always stay in the same place, unlike this guy that always goes up and down, left and right, so therefore Hexpander's tone is kind of more persistent over time. There are less ghost notes and more control in terms of dynamics. It is more predictable, if you will. And that's it for today. Thanks for watching this video, I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one someday soon.